Welcome, Jinkies family, for this activation of 34th Jinki, a key of strength, the shadow of force, the gift of strength, and the Siddhi of Majesty. So let's discover this key and we'll see which secrets it holds. This Jinki is in a codon ring of destiny with the 43rd Jinki. So it's just two Jinkis that combines and that creates this codon ring of destiny. And this is very interesting meaning, yeah, destiny, something that we can accept or deny, or we can argue if the destiny exists, or we have a free will to choose. But any case, if we look at this Jinki, it said that it's a codon ring of destiny with 43rd Jinki with its Siddhi of epiphany. And we can, with you, discover here what does it mean during this transmission. And what is also most important or interesting about this key, that this key is the primal force, primal energy of generator. So if you a little bit know human design, there are 4 types of people: generator, projector, manifestor, and reflector. And the generator, who are 70% of people in the world, these people who has the sacral authority. I'm generator, my partner generator, and generators are those people who has the energy in their system. That's the energetic center that generates energy. And the very interesting thing of how generator works, that the energy goes as a response on life, onto something. Not your mind makes the decision for you, but you listen to this inner authority. And the inner work here, and if you will look, for example, in human design that's connected with Jinkies, and long time ago I was studying and consulting through human design. And there is such a thing there as your path of recalibration, how you in a way transform the memory, the information in your cells to make yourself be yourself. That takes 7 years of experience. Because through 7 years, our cells, they are recalibrating, and the all information can leave our system, and we can start live from new information, from new energy imprint. But for this, it's important to start listen how energy responds to you. For generators. For other types, there are different types of making decisions and how the inner authority work based on also other centers. But let's say for generators, it's important to listen how energy speaks, not what your mind think, not what you think is going to be profitable or will bring you success, or who is a good partner for you, for your mind, but where your energy goes. And this is very different from how a lot of people live, how modern, let's say, society works, because we used to make decisions based on our minds. But if we want to be ourselves, and if we want to live our authentic nature, we need to start to listen to ourselves. And with this Jinki 34, as I said, in a codon ring with 43rd, the 43 Jinki is here to connects us with inner voice. A couple of weeks ago, we did the transmission for the 43rd Jinki. So 43rd connects us with inner voice. It moving us from deafness to our inner voice, to inner authority, to listening to the inner voice. When we become in a way deaf to outside, when we don't listen anymore what all these people saying and the noise of our mind, but we really connect with this inner authority. And 34 is all about listening to this energy inside of you and where it goes, where it flows. And if it's not flowing somewhere, that means this direction is not for you. And if you even try to force yourself, the shadow of force, to go somewhere where your body doesn't want to go, you will end up with frustration. Frustration is the feeling, let's say, is a mechanism how generators understand that they are not following their energy. Because the generator who follows his energy lives in satisfaction. The generator who doesn't follow his energy lives in frustration. And it accumulates in your system and brings your energy constantly more and more down. And why I'm speaking about generator, because 34's Jinky is the one who kind of the main energy of generator. This is the pure generator energy that works just through response and nothing else. So while you're listening to this transmission, listen to your body. Listen how energy flows into you. And because we right now in the current transition of this key, even if you're not generator, you have different type, but during this week you can experience what does this energy means and how it works, and also activate the higher potential, the gift and siddhi of this key. So let's start. And of course, I'll have Puer to support me in this transmission. And this will be interesting journey today. So let's begin with the tea. And by the help and support of Puer, we continue in this process. So let's speak about this shadow of force. What happening when we force in ourselves? And as I said, there is an energy in us, the energy that knows where to go, when to go, and how to do things. But when we don't trust this energy, that what creates all kind of damages to our energy system and to life that leads to frustration. So what to do here? And let's deepen in our understanding into the shadow of force. The 34 Jinki is that basic primal energy that exists in all of us and that exists even in animals, in plants. And the 34th key is that force that pushes plant to go through the soil to grow. And this is the force that makes our spine straight at some part of our evolution, human evolution. And that's force, the primal force that interested in survival. It's only duty, kind of, its only goal to survive. As a species, as a biological being. And then when we have this really big primal energy in us, there's also one of the word or expression for this energy, it would be a bull. So 34's energy is like the bull, it's like this primal, big, instinctive energy in us. And then what happens when we try to force a bull to do something that our mind thinks is necessary, but our body and our energy absolutely doesn't want to? You can imagine this, yeah? So, because this energy on a very primal level, on the very early stages of evolution, helped us to survive, there's one thing that is kind of important to understand about this key, and that makes it really, that makes person with this energy to really stuck in the shadow, is that this energy have zero awareness about itself. If you're in the shadow of this key, you have zero understanding what you're doing, how, and how it affects others. That's like absolutely self-absorbed energy. It's blind to see how it affects others by its life, its actions. It has zero self-reflection. the program partner, the 12th, the program partner, the 20 Jinki, 20s, is the key of awareness, in fact, the key of presence, the key of present moment. But on its shadow level, it's this self kind of not awareness of the self, absence. It's when we not present, not in our body, we are missing. Our awareness is not in our body. We not a kind of in our life. We always in our mind. We miss in our life. We live in here up in the clouds. We disconnected. That's why the frustration comes. That's why the depressions comes. That's why we have this stages of Saturn, then 40 or whatever, 45 years. We have these depressions that people experiencing because of absolute disconnections with yourself, because we are forcing ourselves to do something that we don't want to do, to act in a certain way. We are in a deafness to our own feelings, to our soul call, and all we're trying to do is just forcing ourselves. And forcing ourselves mean when you don't have energy for something, but you pretend that you do and you try to do something, as well as when life gives you energy. That's another polarity of a shadow. But because of your mind and your whatever stories, patterns, avoidance, self-sabotage, you're not doing something. That life pushed you, life gave you energy, but your mind and your beliefs are stopping you from doing something that can actually a part of your life and your purpose, your dharma. And this shadow is very tricky. This shadow that keeps us in a loop, let's say, because as I said, as a primal energy, it focused on its own survival. And it's not aware of itself. And when we look in this key, even in a gift in a Siddhi level, even on a higher frequency level, it's also not aware of itself. But it works in a bit different because, for example, in a Siddhi level, there is no self to be aware of. It's just pure consciousness that's always present in each and every moment. But on a shadow level, it's opposite. It's this absence. And what also happens is that the 34 Jinki biologically connect with solar plexus. It's connect with the navel and the energy that's around the navel. But when we're in the shadow of this key, we disconnected from this space. Our decision-making process and our energy goes straight away here, and we try to process everything through our mind, to intellectualize it, to make decisions, and we absolutely disconnect. It's kind of like this area is frozen. We don't feel it at all. So what this key is saying, if you want to really activate your strength, yes, this gift of this key, have to come back to your body. You have to listen to recenter what the energy is saying to you. In Tao practices, it would be lower than 10, where the energy for the primal life force energy there, and that's what helps you to live in you, to be yourself and to live your life. I mean, I felt to share one story here. I remember a long time ago when I was in the beginning of my spiritual path, and I was really keen into human design. I was doing a lot of studies, and I was going through this kind of process of de-imprinting myself. And I was really, really practicing it. If I didn't have energy into something, if I didn't have as a generator this response, I was not doing, no matter what. I kind of went in a way radical to this. And even if I agreed for a meeting with somebody, but on the day I don't have energy, I was canceling. Or for example, sometimes it was crazy because I was in the street and I had to finish the meeting with my friend. I was in a cold in Moscow in a street. And my body didn't want to go anywhere. My body didn't want to go home. My body didn't want to go into the ground. My body didn't want to move from that kind of little space. And I had to stay there until after 1 hour, I had a message from my friend who asked me what I'm doing and said, "Oh, maybe you will come there and then have energy to come." So I was really radical, kind of, I took a radical path. And in a way, I'm grateful myself for this. And I remember the situation when I was going to India. I went a couple of times. I had workshops, and then I came back to Russia by the end of December. And then I celebrated New Year with my parents. And then I was feeling, okay, I will go back to India, but I didn't know exactly when, sorry. And at the time I lived with my mom and she was forcing me. She's like, why you just don't buy tickets? Like buy like while it's cheaper, like for the kind of next month. Why are you waiting? And I was feeling to myself, I was like, no, I don't feel I need to do this right now. And whenever I've looked for tickets and I look for prices, and it was reasonable to buy because the price was low, for example, for the next month. But my energy was absolutely not agree with this. There was no response, no flow into me towards this direction. So I was not buying and was receiving a lot of things from my mom. So, oh, you stupid, you ignorant, you just like lazy, whatever. But I was like holding my ground, let's say. And then the January was finishing. So, and I was basically, the January left almost finished. I was still in Moscow. And I had at the time a lot of human design sessions I was giving to people. So I had to also do this work that I liked a lot at the time. And then at some point, I remember I posted in my Instagram account about the practice Kali meditation. At the time I started to practice it, I was not yet initiated to teach this practice or to facilitate it. But I was practicing myself and with people, and I had a friend who was in fact a facilitator. And just like randomly in my Instagram, I just messaged about this practice, how I was doing it every day, effect that it had on me. And then I started to have a lot of people messaging me, oh, where we can try? Are you organizing it? Can you do this? And I was like, well, I'm not, but I know somebody who can. And I messaged my friend and she was like, yeah, in fact, I'm in Moscow. And I was just thinking to make the marathon because normally this practice is you do it like a marathon, at least 7 days. And we like kind of literally less than in a week, we organized a marathon. She found a place, she rented a place, we organized 10 days marathon. I had most of the people came to me. I was like 20 people sign up for this practice for like in 1 week, or maybe even more, like in a 1 week time, kind of, we really organized it fast. And as soon as we organized this practice and we choose the days, it was like beginning of February. And then when it was done, and then my energy came, my energy said, now you can buy a ticket. And so as soon as we organize it, I mean, as soon as we like choose the dates, people started to sign up, and I felt this. This is what I was waiting, even not knowing that I was waiting for this. And as soon as it was kind of set up, then my energy said, now you can buy a ticket. Like basically I decided, okay, like this workshop is going to be till the middle of February. So then like a couple of days after it finished, I can go. And I remember even now, I opened my phone, I went to this website and I saw tickets that for that days was like with a big discount. So I bought these tickets and they went me maybe same or maybe even cheaper than kind of normal price. And then I happily also participated in that workshop. So I participated. I brought a lot of people for whom it was really life-changing. And for some of them, I had one friend, she told me years after, it was really life-changing because at that time she had cancer. She didn't tell me, she just said, I feel I need to do this practice, but I felt like some really health situation, will it help me? And I said like, well, you can try, but this practice, it's kind of is bringing you through the polar of death. And she's like, okay, that's what I need. And years later, she messaged me that the time she had cancer and then this practice helped her to heal it. Of course, like your other inner work she did, but not any medical treatment, whatever she didn't had. She had like that practice was activated so much fire. There was burning herself. After also that, she went through a huge death portal where there was like a death process she experienced. And a lot of different situations how it helped people. So, and then for me, that's one of the situations that I had a lot of examples like this when I listened to myself, when I was not forcing myself to make decision, even if I needed to. And how I was attitude I had, like if something is forcing me from outside to make a decision, but I don't feel like this, that means that this situation, this person, this whatever is not for me. Because if it would be for me, my energy will respond in the right timing. If my energy is not responding in the right timing, this is not for me. And that's really helped me. And whenever something really meant to happen, it was happening in an effortless way. That's what this power of this key. When you're moving from strengths, you can be very active. You can do a lot of things, but it's kind of effortlessly because the whole universe supports you. You move with what we call a flow. But if you don't listen to yourself, you move always with resistance. Everything like have a lot of resistance, different circumstances, nothing is working, and you always try to hit a wall. Like this key is like something you always try to kind of break the wall, and always there's something happening that's not allowing you to do this. That means that you are in the shadow of this key forcing. You're not aligned with the life forcing you, life energy in you, how it wants to flow naturally. And the one of the example of this key is also how we try, like Richard Rohr was saying, imagine you have a circle and you try to put it into into a square, and it's not fully fitting. It's not going like this. So this is an example of this shadow force. So this week we kind of reflecting into what is the most aligned and efficient way for us to move, because the one of the key words for this key is efficiency. When you live in the gift of this key, and when you move in connection with your energy, you move with a great efficiency because you do right things in the right timing. What this key is saying, it's all about timing, because on a gift frequency, this key is not fully aware of itself. But what's the difference between the shadow and the gift? Because in shadow, you always do things in your own timing. And because you're so blind to yourself, you don't understand how you affect others and what you're creating. By being in this force, you attract even like aggression towards yourself, because people looking at you and they're like, are you really stupid? You don't understand? And the thing is, if you're in the shadow, you really don't understand. You just don't have capacity to look within. That's what happens when you start in this lower frequency. Because as I said, it's like an absence. You absent in your own life, you absent. There are some programs, something happening, something going on, but not you. And it's like automatic kind of some living, let's say like this. And it's a pretty scary even, like if you think about this. So that's what steal your creative force, your creative potential. That what steal your money, or you'll say your prosperity, because prosperity is not only about money. That what steal your energy. That's shadow, and that beliefs that what kind of keeps you being on the outside in a way of your life. So I would say that this energy is something that, yeah, like really important to you in your life, and this key. And so when you're in a shadow frequency, as I said, like you acting and people look at you and they really don't understand. It's like how you can be just so ignorant in a way. And then it's a fact, it attracts the shadow, it attracts more in a way aggression, because or like not aggression, but how to say, how life through different situations, people try to wake you up, try to like kind of say, hey, like look, you're not there, you're not alive even, come on, wake up, something like this. And uh, the only way to wake up here is to move to higher frequency, because still you're in a shadow frequency. You can't, because this energy, in a way, is a way it's self-absorbed. It's like an animal who interested only on its own survival. It can't see around, can't understand how it affects the other people, how your action or not action affects others. So, because let's say this key has such a huge amount of energy, huge potential of energy. If you're not using it in the right way, you either bring this energy within that in the future will create some diseases and also potentially cancer or other diseases, because it's all life force that's stuck. Like on a shadow level, this key, the shadow creates self-destruction. Like your system, your body starts to destroy yourself. That's what happened on a shadow level. It activates the mechanism of destroying of yourself. That's why it can also lead to diseases. Because like I say, all the force that if you're not using the energy that life given you for creation, then the energy goes into destruction, because the energy need to move anywhere. The energy can't just stay. Everything in life is always moving. So if you not move the energy, or like if you're not moving with the energy into creation, it's going into destruction. So either you destroy yourself through within, this is one of the shadow level here, when you when the person is kind of don't believe in himself or herself, when person is avoid the strength, the power within, and just playing small, let's say the shadow of playing small, and not taking this responsibility, accountability to this life force that you have. And the other shadow is bullying. It's like somebody who express this energy into aggression. It's like bullying others, always being mean, and kind of in a way creating these fights, because again, if you're not using energy correctly, it will play out in a destructive way, and here also potentially in a violent way, because as it's said, it's a huge energy. This energy can turn into violence, either violence into yourself, that's, as I said, self-destruction, or violence towards others. Or you will attract violence, because if you are in this frequency and you emanate into the world that you self-destroy, that you destroy yourself, then you will attract these situations that will reflect this to you, so you could finally see and wake up. And so we can say, wow, this is really a big thing. So how we can do something even about it, how I can start to be aware of myself if this energy is absolutely not aware of what I can do. The first thing I would say, and I would say how Richard Rohr would say, you need to pause. You need to pause, to drink a cup of tea, or maybe you don't need to drink a cup of tea, but pause in this moment. And I will also pause with a piece of chocolate. And just start to listen to yourself. Listen to your body. You need to bring awareness here into your belly. So for this key is really important for physical exercises. yoga, qigong, tai chi, everything that helps you to come back to your body. In a way, if you have this key, it's essential for your health and for your life to have everyday exercise. Otherwise, your energy can't move. You destroy yourself. You have to move the energy. You need to create the flow. You need to create the movement, and it should be everyday like activity. And then you need to cultivate the practice of listening to yourself, of pausing and listen, what do I feel? Do I really want to do this? And then you have to, in a way, let go all the expectations, how your life should be, or which goals you should reach, whatever. Because the magic of this key, when you go with the energy inside of you, you always will be in the right time with the right people, with the right circumstances that will give you right resources, solutions, whatever everything you need. If you're forcing, you will always end up in a wrong position, doing things in the wrong timing and creating just frustration for yourself. So just take a moment now to contemplate, let's say, the last week while this key was in your field, and look into yourself and try to see where you were aligned with your energy or where you've been forcing yourself, just to bring presence and awareness into this. And I hope you felt into your system where is your strength and where was the forcing in your life. And we can slowly move to the gift of this key, the strength. The one difference between shadow and gift here, that's in shadow, you like absent, you're not visible also to yourself. And to others, you're not in a way putting yourself out there, you're avoiding, you're playing small. This shadow is a lot about playing small, or you putting yourself out, but in too aggressive way, because it's another polarity of the shadow. This key, I would say, has such an important message that in order to wake up and be yourself, you have to listen to this sacral authority. And in the beginning of this video, I said that it's a solar plexus. I made a mistake, it's not the solar plexus, because then I've been saying about the sacral authority in belly and the navel. So it's a sacral authority, it's a sacral area in our body, like a lower dental, it's here. I'm showing, I know you don't see now from the camera, but I'm showing to the lower part of the belly and around the navel here. Here is this force. And what is also important and interesting about this key is that this is a key of awakening of humanity. This is one of the force key that stays as a portal for collective awakening and key that will come in 2027 among 3 other keys that will create a new cross of Phoenix that will activate a new era. And it's funny, I said about Phoenix, and I have this painting here that I bought from my friend. She's doing this like sacral paintings, and this is a Phoenix, and it's set a center of power. And it said the inner light, confidence, transmutation, the connection with your intuition, and concentrations, all these things that we're speaking about, basically, like this, the Phoenix. And this is why it's strengths, because we have to be in these strengths. And so one of the keys is a side of collective awakening. There are 4 of them. 55, from victim to freedom. 59, from dishonesty to transparency. 34, from force to majesty. And 20, where we're going into the being, into the presence moment, present moment. And these 4 keys are so important because they're showing us who is this future human, the one who transmuted all victim states and awakened through within, through Kundalini awakening, became a free in the spirit. The one who transmuted all the dishonesty and transmuted the sexual energy into transparency. The one who not forcing himself anymore, who listening to this deep inner wisdom, to the navel, to the space around the navel, to the strength within you, and acting in alignment with your energy. That means that you are effortlessly moving through life. And effortlessly doesn't mean that you're not doing anything. You can do a lot of things, as I said. You can be very active, very busy, but it effortlessly, because it's like the life creating everything for you. You just have to appear in the right time, in the right moment, and do the right action, speak with the right person, and like everything aligned to you. This is how it works. With a presence, the 20 gene key, when you're present in your body, and then when you're aware of environment, you're aware how you affect environment. You're aware how your actions or absent of your actions affect the environment, because it's not what you're doing, but it's also what we're not doing sometimes when we need to, when the life is asking us, but we in lazy, in ignorance, in denying, in whatever, in our shadows, and we're not acting when life is asking us to act. There's also part of the shadow. So this key is really very potent, I would say. And let's look into the gift of strength. Imagine this primal energy in you that helped you at one point to survive, to become a human. And then what happens is on a gift level is that we are, because we are aligned with the force, because we are aligned, with the power, with the energy within us, we are always moving in the right direction, in the right timing, when life surprising us with miracles of how life creates everything, with opportunities, with possibilities. And we act when we need to act, and we rest in being when we need to rest in being. And then we not accumulate stress. We not accumulate diseases. Our system is light. We can conduct a lot of energy. We are in this what we say high frequency. So this is what happens when we're in strength. And strength, if we look into this world, we might think like, oh, but strength is something like this, like masculine, this like man with big muscles. This is not strength. Strength is when you aligned with the natural flow inside of you, when all your elements in harmony, and you move through life in harmony, and your being, your presence creates more harmony in the environment. This is the strength. When you're not forcing yourself to do something, but when you're moving with life like this would be Majesty already, I would say, the Siddhi. And this is what can be like as an archetype. And that's why it's a future human, because it doesn't listen to all these ideas of what you should do, how you should earn money, wherever. It aligns with the nature, with the life force within. and it let this life energy move, act, create. Then when you really a creator, because you create with the life energy inside of you, you not create from your mind, you not let your mind interfere your decisions. You more helping your body to move you in the right direction. And then it's like this balance between masculine and feminine. It's more this Tai Chi, you know, I've been time when I've been doing Qigong and Tai Chi. When in these practices, when you move, you always have to listen to the energy. You move with energy. You not try to force the energy. You not try to say the energy what to do. You listen and then you create movements and you see that energy in fact moves in spirals and in circles, and you are then moving with these kind of directions, and that's how you can generate and accumulate more energy. Or another practice that I did in my life, the mandala dance, where it's all about this movement, the spirals, the circles, and how you connect then with the life force, with the huge energy you have. We all have access to this energy, but the reason why it's not activated because we're not aligned, because we live in our minds and we live in goals and ideas and desires of our minds instead of being real. So the strength is this quality of kind of your personal strengths that aligned with the nature and aligned with the whole. This is how you invite divine into your life and start to move with divine. And the more we activate the higher frequency of this key, the more we're in presence. Let's say connection with the 20 gene key. Every action you do from presence. That means you're not overthinking. That means you're not accumulating that much stress and worry. That means that you can't even do something that's not aligned. You can't do something that's out of your mind because it even feels like painful in your body. The more you activate the higher capacity of this key, the more you just, what we can say, becoming yourself, resting in your own being, and from this space, acting when it's time, when it's aligned. And then that what brings into your life everything that is really for you, that supports you on your path and takes away everything that is not. And it's also okay when life takes away something that's not the right alignment, you can celebrate because it means you're free in a space and life will give you what is more aligned. So this is this gift of strength. And we can take another pose with the tea to reflect and contemplate on it. And the Siddhi of Majesty. So what happened when we come into the Siddhi? We come into the divine state. And in fact, the Siddhi of Majesty is inviting divine into your body, into your being, into your system, letting it act through you. So in a Siddhi, there is also not self-awareness because there is no self to be aware of. There is just a pure consciousness. There is just divine acting through you, working through you in each and every moment. In fact, all, let's say, physical practices or methods have been created through the Siddhi state. Yoga, Qigong, Qigong, Tai Chi, whatever different techniques, because at some point a person who channeled that came into the city where you spontaneously, your body spontaneously doing this postures, mudras, because this is how our body conduct the divine energy. And in this case, when we enter the Siddhi, we can become vessels for divine acting through our body. That's what the Majesty. It's been so connected to your higher self. It's been so connected to divine that you, in a way, fully give up yourself. You become fully a vessel for it. And that's how you bring into the life different techniques and methods. So if you connect with the Siddhi, you can bring certain methods and techniques into the life that will be a way to conduct the energy through the body. So that means like when people then repeat like the yogas or other postures, asanas, it's like, let's say it's working and not working at the same time, because ideally it happening naturally. When we repeat them, we kind of try to repeat the way how once somebody activated or connected with the divine through the body. I remember the story of Anandama, when once she went to this divine state, and suddenly she started to do yoga postures, even if she never practiced yoga in her life and never studied it. I remember once when I had some awakening, and suddenly I was in the bed, I started to do yoga positions, I started to do my body, I would say, let's started to do some movements in a way to conduct that energy. And that was absolutely out of any control or ideas of my mind, what I should do or how I should now conduct the energy or whatever. It's happened so spontaneously. And that's when we, in fact, when we're in a Siddhi of Majesty, we can live in this state where we work through this Siddhi, where we work through this energy, where we activate this energy. And that's became for us just a normal state of life. And if you as well, you do in yoga or any other practices, what's most important is not just try to repeat the asanas, but try to enter the space that's behind it, or the space through which all these postures, all these asanas came, all these like techniques came, because this is what's the most important. This is what activates. This is what, in fact, where you go in. You go into that state, and different positions, they're just tools to activate an energy, but you need to focus not on the asanas, not on the positions. You need to focus your awareness into into which that is behind it. And the Majesty is it's like, let's say, this great Siddhi when you are absolutely shining divine light, and every your action, what you do, a mudra. It's like a Indian dance, when they dance, and every mudra, every even turn of the head, it has a meaning, and it's working in a sacred geometry of how energy flow and how they communicate through their like whatever positions of the body uh, to the space, and how they conduct the energy through this. This is kind of this kind of Siddhi or Balinese dance, whatever this sacred dance is, a Tibetan dance, where the posture is a way to bring and conduct the energy and create a certain geometry that activates certain patterns, and kind of it's becoming like a language. Yeah, so this is what I have to say about the Siddhi. There is also one very interesting message here about the Siddhi. It said, the best, like the best fight is one that never happened. It's Siddhi about fully dissolving yourself into divine. It's being a master when you can solve any problem, any situation just with your awareness. It's really the majesty. It's being the great, it's accepting it. But great not from your ego, like this self-empowerment, but great as who you truly are in the core of your being, because you are great. But the journey of this key is to accept it, is to surrender your small ego to the divine, your small self to higher self, your lower self to higher self. That's how you bring the majesty into your life. And then every your action, every your word, every your movement became a sacred movement, became a vessel for the energy, became a language through which you communicate with divine and then with the environment, and how you conduct the energy and bring it into your space through your own body, your own existence. Yes, and so let's do the meditation then. Just find comfortable position. Feel your body. Feel your root. Feel your root system going down into the earth. And you're connecting with the Mother Earth. You can feel her support, her love, how it enters your system. You can let this energy flow through your body. Let you fully feel supported by Divine Feminine. Breathe out all your stories, worries, problems. Connect with this core, this fire. Bring it higher up to your throat, to your head, the energy of Mother Earth. Bring it high to the source. And then bring the energy of Father Sky, the Divine Masculine Principle, into your body. Through your spine. Feel the core of the earth, how it's going to the core of the earth. It's giving you this vertical, your spirit, the fire within you. Feel your solar plexus, feel your heart, the light in your heart, and rainbow sphere around you. And feel the shadow force. Where is it in your body? Where is it in your system? Which patterns are you playing out? There's denying, playing small, or the bully, being bully. Breathe into these parts. Give your softness, give your love. Accept your strength. Accept it. Let the fire burn in you. Let your body become alive. Let the strength enter you. Let the patterns of the shadow that maybe you carry through years and through generations melt into this fire. Let go of the pain, the suffering. Accept this inner dragon in you. Have the phoenix that's gonna rise from the ash. Know how this fire is activating your heart, your thymus, the whole system, your whole system. Maybe bring some anger, feel it if it comes, let it move, just feel everything. Let this fire burn through that illusions that keep you small or keep you disconnected from the strength. Feel your throat, how it's activating. Feel this gift of strength is rising. Feel even how your body is changing, your spine. Feel the strength within you. Feel this fire feel how you're becoming alive. And if your body wants now to do some movements, to do some postures, whatever, let yourself do it. If you need to stand, if you need to move, do it. Let your body connect with the strengths. Let yourself become the strengths. Be it without doubts, without compromises. And then slowly and gently invite the Siddhi of Majesty. Let it come into your body. Keep your palms in open position. The Majesty flows through you. Let the Majesty activate you. Let the Majesty work through you. Become a vessel of divine truth. Your body speak the truth, the language of truth. The light goes through your being. Be the Majesty. Rest in Majesty. And act through Majesty. In divine timing. Divine alignment. And invite now divine messages to show you what are your next steps, what you need to focus on, where you need to go. Invite the divine guidance. Invite divine truth. Let your body speak the language of Majesty. Let your body now do something, whatever movement, mudra, any action, whatever flows yourself. Activate the language of light. You need to stand up, you can stand up. Trust the light. Take 3 deep breaths. Ignite the light within. Let this majesty run through your veins, through your energy system, energy channels. Be alive. Be the fire, be the light, be the truth. Be the divine. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Bring your palms into Namaste position. Rub your palms. Put it into your face. Your heart. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for this practice. Please comment, how do you feel? Where your majesty was hiding? What were your shadow patterns? And I wish you go with your strength. And now meet you for the next Jinki, the 9 Jinki, from inertia to invincibility.